A lot of us are trying to build someone else's version of success. I told my boss, if you promote me, I will quit. Why would I leave a job I hate to build a business I hate? So many of my ideas haven't come from me. Like the current business we run that's doing over 7 figures, I didn't come up with it.
Welcome to Wealth on Your Terms, the show where we bring builders and unconventional thinkers to share how they're creating wealth and freedom on their terms. I'm your host, Tobi, and today we have founder and CEO of Magnets, creator of the Founder's Blueprint, speaker and investor. If you've used LinkedIn often, you've probably come across his post before. So welcome to the podcast, Tobi Oluwole.
Thank you.
Thanks for honoring the invite.
No problem, namesake.
Yeah. Before we dive into things, can you do a quick intro for people who are just meeting you for the first time? Perhaps they just don't use LinkedIn often.
Yeah, I mean, this was a huge mistake.
What was it?
Just starting on LinkedIn, like what came even after it. I grew up in Nigeria, moved to Canada at 15, and then, studied business in university. I don't remember much, but I remember trying a lot of different ideas, network marketing, selling shoes, iPhones. And so one of my big ideas was selling hoverboards, and that got me into tech sales, right? So right after school, I get into tech sales. I'm terrible at it, and I never hit my quota. And every year I would apply to Shopify because I basically had a theory that if I was a terrible entrepreneur, which I was, and I wanted to become a good entrepreneur, I had to get around good entrepreneurs. And Shopify was the company building for entrepreneurs. Yeah. So I applied there 7 times in 3 years. And then in 2020, I finally got in. And when I got in during the onboarding, they taught us this really cool storytelling framework. And to test it, I made a post on LinkedIn and I went to bed and I woke up to like 300,000 impressions.
That's crazy. Was that your first LinkedIn post or had you been?
It was like I tried between 2016 and 2020, I tried maybe like 30 or 40 posts to just try LinkedIn and I couldn't quite figure it out. And that one was the first one where I was like, something clicked in my head. Like, if I do this every day, I mean, I'll change my life. And that was basically the moment that was like, okay, I'm going to post every day at 10 a.m. And I think I'm on day like 1,501 or something like that.
That's crazy. You've been consistent. Have you ever missed a day?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, like I started off posting every weekday. And then I started, posting every weekday when I was working. So I wouldn't work, if I wasn't working, I wouldn't post. And then for like 3-4 years, that's what I was doing, Monday to Friday, only. And then last year, I introduced weekends and started posting Saturday, Sunday. And that just helped me move like a little bit faster. You're adding an, additional whatever, like 100 posts, right? So that was basically how I, got into LinkedIn and started writing, and then it just kind of, spiraled or upwards from there, I would say.
It's so crazy to think because when people join companies, they only think about the monetary gain.
Yes.
So in your case, it's like there was the monetary gain from your salary.
Yeah.
But there was also, it kind of created this LinkedIn fame for you, at least the first post, the initial post that went from. So that's like, it benefits. What was the storytelling? Because I did onboarding at Shopify and I do remember.
I think it was in like customer success. So it was something called Freight Tax Pyramid. And it's FREYTAG. It was invested by some guy called Gustav Freytag. But basically, it's been around for like 200 years, and it's how a lot of movies are made, right? So you have your introduction, right? You see a yellow taxi. As soon as you see a yellow taxi, you're thinking New York, right? And so you have the introduction, then you have the rising action, right, where they start to show the context, right? And then you have the climax of the story, right? This is usually where the emotion is high, right? The hero arrives, or whatever it is. And then you have the falling action, and then you have a lesson, right? That, everyone walks away with. And that was basically, the frame. I still use it till today. I teach it in all of my programs. Is the simplest way to tell a story that has the ability to evoke an emotional reaction in someone, right? And so that's basically what I've been using. And I think I've gotten like 300 million impressions on LinkedIn. Just, people going, I felt what you were saying.
Yeah, because you always have like a high engagement, all your posts. You just posted this morning.
Yeah.
And I already saw the comments. I'm like, this is crazy. You have like a high engagement. And it's so crazy to me. talking about how you weren't good at sales, because
Mm-hmm.
personally, I feel like I'm not good at sales, and I just always run away from sales careers.
Yes,
But it's
yes,
just
yes.
interesting to know that it's actually a skill you can learn. I've always thought it's something that comes to people,
I
not
think it
something.
does come to some people
Okay.
because I've seen some people, I've worked with a few people where I'm like, okay, you're extremely gifted
Yeah.
at this. But the cool thing about sales is that it's more science than art now,
Interesting.
right? Like I think back then, you think of a car salesman, it's like usually the first person people think of when they think of sales.
Right.
And back then, even throughout the years, like if you were really charismatic, and you were really good with people, then you would end up being a really good salesperson. But now it's more of a science, right? It's like, do you understand where they are, where they're trying to go, and are you the right person to close the gap for them? And if that is true, then you're not selling, they're buying. And
That's a
that
good
changes all. Like when I go to the doctor and
Yeah.
I'm sick and he recommends something, like he's not selling me on using the meds. I'm the one going, I need a solution.
Yeah.
And so as soon as you go from car salesman to doctor, then selling becomes easy, right?
So it's
Because
like-
people want the solution.
So it's like once you have value,
Yes.
then you can easily sell anything, basically.
Yeah. There's a book I'm reading called 10X is Easier Than 2X. And it talks about even when you're selling something, always be the buyer. So I pick my clients, right? So I'm essentially shopping for who I want to work with, which then makes selling also easier because I'm willing to reject someone even if they have money. So now it's not, people know that it's not, oh, he's always going to try to take your money.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's no, he wants to work with this kind of person, right? And if you're willing to walk away, then selling becomes so much easier because people are going to be the ones initiating the buy. And you are also the buyer going, is this someone that I want to contribute or that I want to work with, whether for 6 weeks or a year? Am I buying what they're selling? Do I buy into their potential? Now I'm like also the buyer, right? And now it's like, it's just a conversation.
Yeah. That's something that I've been struggling with a lot lately because I've realized that there are certain skills you need to have. I did engineering, but sales and marketing, if you have those two unlock,
Yes.
I feel like you can go really far in life. So
Yes,
yeah.
100%. Like it's so scalable and so transferable. And so, yeah, I think I would say like selling first, then marketing, because if you're selling, you can always like provide for yourself.
Right.
And then if you learn marketing, then you're just never stuck, right? And so I'm grateful that even though I didn't do well in sales, I learned it. And then once I started posting on LinkedIn and that became my marketing, so I have a terrible close rate for all of my sales. Like
Yeah.
I have like very, very low close rate, but because I have so much marketing,
The volume.
it doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. Let's take it back a bit.
Yes.
I'm curious to know what lens you grew up with when it comes to like money, work, success. How did that shape your early path with stories you were told or what you saw societal wise?
Yeah. I mean, it's such a good question. Both my parents were entrepreneurs.
Okay.
So my dad worked at Exxon, even when I was growing up. But him and my mom were always in like the food business. My mom was, she used to, sell motorcycles. She had a salon. She had like a daycare, venue rental. So I grew up with parents that were always failing.
Interesting. That's like an amazing.
It was just part of
Yeah.
like we wake up, mom tries something, dad tries something, right? Like every single year for like my whole childhood, I remember a new business. So growing up, I was like, oh, this is part of life, trying new things and failing. And it didn't matter whether it succeeded or if it failed, they would always start something new. It kind of gave me a lens of like, this is part of life. Like you wake up, you brush, you eat, you fail, you go to work. And so I think growing up by like 7 or 8, when were we in Atlanta? I think I was like maybe 7 or 8. I would like go door to door selling cheesecakes from like my, school, doing the fundraising. And I remember people like, no, we're not buying. I'm like, oh, okay, next one. And so I think early it got ingrained into me that like, if you want to be more successful, then you have to fail more, And so by the time I think maybe 13, 14, I started selling lollipops in high school. My first 2 hours, I got in trouble.
Oh, damn.
And I think a lot of people at that point would have been like, okay, maybe this isn't for me. But
Yes.
I was like, okay, maybe I shouldn't sell illegal stuff, So that was that was my lesson right from the start. So I grew up in an environment where failing was normalized.
Lately, I've been thinking of privileges that people have that they don't realize. But I feel like that's such a privilege.
Massive.
Just getting used to understanding that failure is part of the process.
Yes.
A lot of people nowadays, and even myself, I'm trying to change my mindset to understand that failure is part of the process.
Yes.
And even talking about how you were younger, going door to door, and you were conditioned to get used to rejection.
Yes.
And understand that that is normal. From my side of things, my mom was a career person. My dad was an entrepreneur. I feel like because I saw the lows that happen in entrepreneurship, I know I saw the highs as well.
Yeah.
It just made me scared of entrepreneurship because at least
Yeah.
I saw my mom have a stable, consistent income, all of that. And that made me feel like, yeah, I'm going to always be in the corporate world.
Yeah.
And I'm so scared of entrepreneurship. So that's interesting to hear. Like,
I mean, my dad spent quite a few years, I think 15 years or something at Exxon. And then I remember I was maybe 15, 14. He came home one day with a box and he just goes, I retired today. He's like, the only way I'm going to build a life I want is if I do it myself. And I remember that moment is etched in my brain because I was about to move to Canada. Exxon would have paid for my university, right? And he just took it all on himself because he was essentially getting passed over at work over and over again. And he's like, I'm just gonna take a risk. And I think so my dad retired at 44 from corporate. I retired
for their age.
Yeah.
For their age.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I retired at 28 and I texted him. I was like, I beat you, because it was just part of every idea that I had growing up. My mom would always say the same thing, which is, may God grant you your heart's desires. I never heard this is a bad idea. Even till today, I'm like, Mom, I want to buy a jet. She's like, may God grant you your heart's desire. There was no limit.
Wow.
So growing up, that was my privilege, like you said, right? And then my dad, I would be like, hey, Dad, I came up with this new idea. He would always send me my first $100.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Especially come from like an African background
Yes.
where there's that limiting belief.
Yeah.
Because they love you.
Because they love
They
you,
want you to be like an engineer, doctor, things
Yes.
that are successful, basically.
Yeah. So that was like, I'm so grateful for it now. But the other side of it is that our lives in terms of money, up,
Yeah.
down, up. There was no stability. And my dad, I love him. He's like almost every Nigerian dad. He was a spender.
Yeah.
And I am a spender. My brother is a spender,
Yeah.
right? And so in that, we go from like 6 cars to like 1 car to like, hey, everything's good. And it traumatized me. Like part of why I am an entrepreneur is because I'm the master of my fate. So I can have a really good month, put a bunch of money aside, and then know that on a bad month, like we're fine.
Yeah.
Right. So it really, really etched into me both the good and the bad. Like you could change your life and build a fortune. You can also lose it all.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why before I quit corporate, I bought a very big house. And I went, if anything goes wrong,
You have equity.
we have a backup plan.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like you have equity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I say I have PTSD and wisdom. Right.
That's the side of
Like,
things.
yeah,
That's what
I definitely have the,
Yeah.
but I understand, my business was doing well over 5 figures every month before I left my corporate job for like 8 months. Then we bought the house, right?
Okay.
Then we had an emergency fund. So by the time I was leaving, it was safer for me to leave.
Yeah.
And that was basically, my way of going. I learned my lesson from watching my parents, but I also took all the good, right?
Yeah. No, that's amazing. So it seems like you always knew you wanted to be an entrepreneur. There was no turning point for you in corporate where I felt like, oh, this is not the life I want to live, and now I want to go do something else. Quick one, this podcast is about wealth on your terms, and for a lot of people that includes real estate. I'm a licensed realtor in Ontario, and I help people think strategically about how real estate fits into their overall wealth plan, whether that be buying, investing, selling, renting, or just making smarter decisions. I'm going to be there to guide you through the numbers, ensure you understand the trade-offs and opportunity costs so you can make informed decisions with confidence. So if you're interested in real estate, check the link in the description box or show notes. And while we're at it, if you're finding value from this podcast, please don't forget forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, don't forget to hit the follow button and give us a 5-star review. It really goes a long way and it ensures that we're able to put out more episodes for you. And I really appreciate it. Let's get back into the video.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very stubborn.
Okay.
I don't work well in the mornings. I'm always chasing a new idea. I was the worst employee. Like, my bosses were so frustrated.
But how did you you still climbed the ladder?
I didn't. I went one rung up.
Oh, just one?
Yeah,
Okay,
because
okay.
I literally was a sales rep. I missed quota for 4 years. Then I moved into customer success, individual contributor. And then I became a team lead. And at team lead, I told my boss, if you promote me, I will quit. Because I'm really good with people. I'm terrible with process. So past manager going into director or head of, it was going to be like you're systemizing all this stuff.
Yeah.
But my team outperformed every other team because I'm so good with people.
Oh, okay.
So it's also, a lot of people get promoted past the point of their capability.
That's right.
I saw it like miles away. I turned down 3 or 4 promotions at Shopify because I was like, I'm going to get fired. If you promote me into a senior customer success role where it's mostly project management, I suck at project management. I'm going to get fired. Like, why would I do this? And my boss was like, are you not ambitious? I'm like, no, I'm just not stupid.
Yeah.
Like, if you promote me into a project management role as someone that has no structure, I'm going to get fired, right? So the head of revenue then asked me, okay, Tobi, what role would you want? I was like, a role that allows me to coach 80% of the time, I will be the best at.
Interesting.
And that was the role that ended up getting created for me to go into. And that's the only reason I took it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's very important to be self-aware, basically.
100%.
A lot of people, VPs, directors, aren't self-aware. I've seen people that end up being managers and hating it.
Yes.
They hate working with people and
Yes.
they're like, how did I get into this?
You should be an individual contributor if you are an individual contributor.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely, like I remember one of the women I helped transition into a better role. 6 months in, she starts losing her hair. It was so stressful that she could not go on vacation. She got a 40% pay increase.
Oh, damn. Yeah.
So it looked good on paper.
Was it worth it?
That was a lesson. You can get everything you want and have nothing, and that was, she ended up quitting, So I think I realized early, like, I'm very, like, I don't work till like 2 p.m. most days. I'm so productive between 2 and 7. I'm incredibly productive. I could probably not eat. I could wake up at 10, not eat till 6, because once I'm locked in, I'm locked in. And then I'm the most creative between 10 p.m. and 12 a.m.
Interesting.
So
Yeah.
I was the nightmare for corporate.
Yeah.
I think that was when I realized I had to be an entrepreneur. And then in my first role, I got laid off. I just walked in the office one day. I got laid off. I hadn't been saving. And I remember thinking, like, okay, so if all of this could be taken away from me in 1 second, I need to control my destiny. And that was my first big, like, push towards trying to get into entrepreneurship.
That's interesting. So you don't always have to be a morning person to be successful.
No.
Yeah,
You
I'm
have
a
to-
morning person, but you don't.
Are you a morning
I'm a
person?
morning person. So find whatever time works for you and use it to your advantage.
Yeah.
I'm creative in morning. In
Oh,
the
amazing.
afternoon, you're just like getting garbage to be, basically.
Yeah. Like, I my boss used to be like, Tobi, where are you? Like, this meeting is happening. I'm like, send me the recording. Like, I'm not coming. And I think people were asking me, like, why I moved to Paris, France. But it's because I wake up 10 a.m. I walk to the gym with my wife. I have lunch. And then I start work at 2. That's 8 a.m. Eastern, where my team is, right? So they're all coming on. A lot of them are morning people. So they're productive, and I'm peak already. I've already thought of the day and what I want to do. I feel good. And so that was also part of the process. Like, you essentially just need to optimize your entire life for not productivity, but for output. And those two things are different. It's like, I'm not always productive. But when I go and I choose something and I go, I'm going to create an output, I just build the environment to allow me to create that. And then we get the goal done. And I think a lot of people are trying to create an output when they're not productive.
Yes.
Right? So anyways, that was the whole point of it.
Nice. You said you're stubborn, so I'm going to touch on something.
Yeah.
You failed multiple times, business-wise, and even like with Shopify.
Yeah.
You applied 6 times, got rejected, still applied the 7th time.
Yeah.
I personally applied once, got rejected, and applied 2nd time. I don't know if I would have continued going.
Fair.
So when do you decide like when to stop versus when to keep pushing? Because sometimes some people mistake consistency with stubbornness.
Yes, that's such a good point, actually. One of the things that changed my entire mindset, I read a book called 7 Habits of Highly Effective People back when I was very ineffective.
Yes, same, I did.
So I don't remember anything from the book, but one of the exercises was to write your own eulogy, right? So when I was like 22, 23, I wrote my own eulogy. At the end of my life, here's what I want people to say about me. In detail, it was 3 pages long, okay? So in my eulogy, I noticed a pattern, and I noticed that there were some things I couldn't give up on if I wanted to create the life
Okay.
that I wanted.
Yeah.
So in the eulogy, I was always present, which meant if I wanted to do something, I didn't need a reason to do it, but I was going to be there physically,
Yeah.
right? So that meant I needed a lot of time. So the other thing is I was very generous, right? Like I, bought people cars, took people on vacation,
Nice,
right?
yeah.
And if Toby was around, nobody had to pay. Like it was part of my thing.
Yeah.
And so I needed a lot of money.
Yes.
So I needed a business that would allow me to have money and time, which then took away a lot of businesses. So I can't run a clothing line.
True.
Because if I'm very successful in the clothing line, I'm in the warehouse.
Yeah.
So I had to run probably an information business. Like I literally deduced all the way down. So that meant that I had to get into Shopify.
Okay.
I had to become a good entrepreneur. I didn't have the money to go to an MBA, and I don't learn through theory. I learn by doing.
Okay.
So I had to get into Shopify. I had to, like, there were some things that I had to do. And so Shopify is one of those things. Building a successful business is one of those, like, I had to put my brother through school.
Okay.
Like, there was no, like, oh,
Yeah.
he didn't go because, no. Like, so right now I'm on a kick where I have to retire my parents. Not out of need, but out of want. So I'm in the same kind of mindset where I've put in a destination on the GPS. Okay, this road is closed. Okay, we just find another road. Like, we don't change the destination because the route changed.
Yeah.
And so that's how I look at certain goals. That being said, I gave up on football. I gave up on the Stairmaster. I gave up. I mean,
Everyone was Stairmaster.
I've given up on so many
Yeah.
things because they weren't core. It's like, maybe this doesn't work and I'll find another way.
Okay.
But for the things that I've identified as core, there's no giving up. Like I will be as stubborn with those as possible. I'll find another way,
Another way.
right? But I won't just drop them.
Yeah. So know your goal. You need to know your why and your goal.
Yes.
And then be open to different paths to get there. There's no one way.
I mean, you're just not that powerful. You
Yeah.
know? Like you're not gonna like map it out and it's gonna happen that way. Some people are like that. I believe that. Like I hold everything with an open palm. I pick the goal, and I go, okay, something's gonna get us there. So one of the things I do is I put whatever my goal is. So when we're moving to Paris, it took us 2 years to figure out that move. I put the Eiffel Tower as my background on my phone. So what happens every morning? I wake up, my brain goes, "Oh, where are you gonna live?"
Paris.
So, right. So it now, oh, you should look into apartments. By the way, is there a visa for this? That's how we ended up finding a free visa that allows us to go for 2 years. Because every morning we woke up and your brain went, okay, there's a new thing we need to solve. And so once I have that goal, then we put it in front of, or I put it in front of me on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And I don't need to know how I'm going to get there. I just need to know that that's where I'm trying to get. And then anyway, you just let the world work in your favor because energy is real. So you're putting out all this energy of, this is what I want. This is what I want. And it's not manifestation in like the woo-woo way.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's like, if that's what you want and it's always in front of you, your brain will start to work with you to make it happen.
I'm curious, you probably have people around you, or people you've seen that have goals and have tried.
Yes.
But sometimes it seems like there's an element of luck in it. So
100%.
someone might be watching, maybe they've tried to start a business, they tried like 5 years and just you broke.
Yeah.
What thing would you say they should do differently?
I think the best things in life are reserved for people that try again as a default. I didn't go like, okay, I'm going to retire with my parents and put my brother through school using LinkedIn.
I see. Yeah.
So, but I'm on my 13th business.
Speaking of business, I'm going to talk about it. So you have, how many businesses have you started? If you know how many have like failed, and what made this one work? What was different?
So, I mean, I've started so many. I mean, some I don't remember, right? But, I remember the hoverboards. I remember the clothing line. That one lost like $15,000. I remember doing network marketing. I remember selling Yeezys,
You've done a lot.
iPhones,
Yeah.
flipping couches. I did a soccer boot camp. I was selling noodles in CIC in high school. So again, something that was ingrained in me. I don't know who told it to me. It must have been one of my parents, but it was where there's a problem to be solved, there's a business to be built, right? And so anytime I saw a problem, I'm like, okay, I'm going to try to solve it and make profit, right? So I failed. I think it took me something like 11 years to make my first $50,000.
Damn, 11 years.
Most
That's
people,
persistence.
that's what
people would never.
most people will get to like year 4, like, maybe
year
entrepreneurship.
two.
Is different. Yeah, year
I
2.
feel like because of what we see on social media today has changed what, like you see people waking up and a month later they're making like 50K. So people don't have that patience anymore.
It's because you didn't see the 11 years.
Yeah.
It's like, so now so 3 skills ended up being successful.
I remember
Like we ended up doing maybe like $500,000, right, total. And then this one ended up being successful because I had a really, really captive audience, right? And when you have an audience, you can basically build anything. Like we're seeing it with Ryan Reynolds, right? He's going football, telecom, alcohol, doesn't matter, right? He could go to Mexico and start building anything there. Like people are going to follow him. And that's when I realized like I can probably build anything right now, right? Because I have 350,000 people that are watching my story.
Yeah.
I landed in Pearson this morning, coming out of the plane. I get stopped by an airport guy. He goes, Tobi, are you Tobi from LinkedIn?
From LinkedIn.
I was like, this is insane. Like that reach is now what allows everything to be possible, right? So now I fail with even more vigor because I'm like, all I got to do is find the right ideas. I already have distribution, right? So I'm like, we try new ideas. Almost every month we try something new. Because I'm just like, we haven't had our best idea yet. Core belief.
Yeah.
I've not had my best idea yet. So every time I find something great, we put it into our pillars playbook. This is something that we know works, right? And then I just go back out and try something else, right? Because this could be great for now, but how do you know something better isn't there?
I like that mindset. Yeah. I find that some people just find something and stick to it. I've met entrepreneurs that way, and they just don't explore or go beyond that boundary. Yeah. So that's interesting to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has helped me. Like, so many of my ideas haven't come from me. They've come from an experiment I ran and someone saying something and me picking it up. Like the current business we run that's doing over 7 figures, I didn't come up with it.
And what business is that?
That's just the Founder's Blueprint.
Okay. Yeah.
So I didn't go okay, I'm going to teach people how to use LinkedIn to grow their businesses. Like someone reached out to me and went, hey, I just saw you grow to 100,000 followers. And I'm just wondering, can you teach me how to do that? I was like, I mean, I don't know if it's going to work for you. But I always ask the same 3 questions to see if I can create a solution. Question number 1. What's going on in your life right now that made you reach out to me? And in that, they're going to tell you exactly what is happening that made them go, I need a solution.
Their pain points.
Yes. So the second question is, what do you believe is holding you back from figuring this out on your own? And the most important part of that question is on your own. That's where they're going to sell themselves on you or whatever you choose to build. And then the last question is, paint me a picture in 2 to 3 years. What do you want your life to look like? Yeah. And that's where people have 5-year plans. They have 12-month goals. Nobody thinks 2 to 3 years out.
That's true.
So you get a raw answer of, I just want to spend time with my kids. I just want to, and you get the raw answer. And so now I go back to the little design board. What am I going to build? Question number 2, right? Yeah. How am I going to attract people? By talking about question number 3, right? And what kind of people are going to want this? Question number 1. And that's basically how we build.
an amazing framework. I'm sure a lot of people are going to steal it, but that's an amazing, just like reverse engineering
Yeah,
it and
100%.
getting it. I feel like a lot of times people start businesses without really understanding what the user's pain points are. So this is like you have an audience, you have
Yes.
people that are just willing to tell you what the problem is, and then you capitalize on that.
Yes.
So for a lot of founders nowadays, is the advice to try to build an audience if possible, or what?
You know what? Because I was so, like, back when I did network marketing and I was so bad at sales, I ended up burning a lot of friendships because I was always selling. I was
Your
so,
friends as well.
Yeah, because I was so desperate for it to work
Yeah.
that I was seen as a salesperson. So now I have an inherent fear of being seen as a salesperson. So I say there's two ways to create momentum. You can either be a movement or you can be a magnet. If you send 10,000 emails a day, you will create a business because just pure numbers, it will work.
Yeah.
Or you can be a magnet, which is what I've chosen, which is I have so many people watching that 1% will become customers.
Right.
Right. So I don't there's not a must to build an audience or a personal brand or whatever it is. But when you build a personal brand, every conversation starts on the basis of trust.
Sure.
So when people come and talk to us, they already have this I trust this person already. So the conversation is easier.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Whereas when you email someone cold, you have to first establish trust. First, you have to establish credibility.
Yeah.
Then you have to establish trust. Then you have to tell them about what you do.
Yeah.
And 17 other people are doing the same. No, but when people come and work with us, they're like, I've already decided that you're the person I want to work with.
Yeah.
Based on all of the foundation that has been laid by the content and the personal brand.
Yeah.
So it made selling easier.
That makes
and
sense.
It made growing easier.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So right now, out of your businesses, you said Founders Blueprint is the one that drives the most income right now.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah. So the accelerator, I think our founders have done like 20 million in the last 3 years in revenue.
Interesting.
That's our biggest like driver.
Can you give a TLDR of Founders Blueprints? What you do?
Yeah. I mean, basically, again, I like to reverse engineer things. So once I helped someone do like 100K on LinkedIn back in 2022, I was like, I think there's a pattern in terms of what they need to do to be successful. So I basically built that out into like an 8-step blueprint, right? And then every 3 months I would refine it. Are these the same 8 steps? Like what else can they do?
Okay.
So we ended up building this blueprint, which is now, a cohort runs 4 or 5 times a year, very similar to like Y Combinator, but not as, massive, obviously. A lot of solopreneurs, a lot of, first-time founders, they get a blueprint. Okay, how do you actually, build a lot of credibility and authenticity and authority on LinkedIn?
Yeah.
Turn that into a brand, right? And then how do you create something that you can offer to a specific ideal client that can do 5 to 6 figures a month, right? And it could be anything. Like most people come in, I think it's like 70% of people come into the accelerator with no offer.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I used to think you need an offer.
No offer, no idea what to do. Just an idea of listen, I want to take care of my family.
Yeah.
And I want to use entrepreneurship to do it.
Okay.
Right. So we start, let's set up, I built a GPT now, right, that has taken into account all of the data from our top students and myself. And now if you just, upload your resume and paste your LinkedIn URL, it will go, this is what you should build. This is what gives you the most credibility. Okay. This is the ICP you should go after. This is what your headline should say, about section, sales deck, sales script. It just solves that problem on week 1.
Oh, in week 1. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we go into, now how do we create content that gets people to buy into your story? Because if people buy into your story, then they buy into what you're building.
Yes.
Right. And then on week 3, how do we actually start to attract leads? Unless you want to go send 1,000 cold DMs a day, you need to attract leads. So what could we give to our ideal client that is very low lift for us, but very high value for them?
Okay.
Right. So for example, if I'm trying to help car dealership, owners, I could go, here's a list of everybody in your vicinity that makes more than $100,000 and who has a car that they've had for more than 7 years. They're everyone's like, that's exactly who I want, right?
Yeah.
So that is what we now do is like, okay, what else could we do? It could be a webinar, right? Like how to 10x your car dealership without hiring any new reps. I need to know.
Interesting. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the last part is, okay, how do you create a simple sales funnel and system that's going to make sales repeatable for you? So repeatable that one day you can hire someone to run the entire thing, because that's usually the first thing we try to get rid of, right? Sales takes up a lot of time.
Yeah.
So we try to create a funnel, a system that is repeatable so that eventually you can step away and your business doesn't start dying, because if you're the only person that can do sales in the business,
Yeah.
you're just the highest paid employee in the business, right? So that's the 4-step process that we kind of go through.
That's interesting. I went for Tobi hosted something, Tobi and Friends,
Yeah.
on Saturday, and I met some people that are in your accelerator. They had
yeah.
amazing things to say, and just being in that space helps me expand my mindset. I had people talking about making like 6 figures a month, multiple 6 figures a month. What's the most you've seen people make per month?
I have seen, I mean, in March, something was in the air in March. So our top student did 150,000 in 1 month,
Damn.
followed by 144,000, and the third was 92,000.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And what are the top offers you see that do well?
I mean, I get a lot of career coaches,
Okay.
because careers, so you go to university, you study something, and then you go into the real world and there's no playbook,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
So careers are also the thing that affect your life the most, right? So we get a lot of people going, hey, I've been down this path that most people don't know. And then, building a simple framework for people to get to the same place faster.
Yeah.
We get a lot of business coaches, right?
Okay.
Because business is very similar. But then we also get people building apps, people building consulting companies. We get a lot of too. And then I think we've had like 25 different niches come through, real estate, because it's always the same process,
True.
right? But it's just some people are going to be more successful on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a career platform.
Yeah.
So if you're building a career coaching angle, I mean, we had this one lady do $900,000 in 16 months.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So she built a recruiting agency though,
That's crazy.
right? So LinkedIn is like perfect for that.
That is
Right.
crazy.
So, but yeah, we've seen from scratch. So she got laid off July, August.
scratch.
Yeah. So she got
There's
laid
money
off
out there, guys.
July. For August, she started her business. By 16 months later, she had done 900,000 in revenue.
Wow.
Yeah. So we've seen like crazy. I mean, that didn't happen to me,
But at least you have the knowledge now.
I mean, now I
share
can.
with
Yeah,
people.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it's been nuts to see how fast. Like the girl that did 150,000, she has no employees.
That's even more crazy.
That's insane.
Like, that's actually the life, the
nuts.
dream,
Yeah,
the dream.
exactly.
Speaking on that, have you found, like, since you've coached a lot of people now, what would you say is the difference between people that make it and people that don't?
It's a good question. The people that make it, one, they have a high level of accountability for themselves. To them, they're going to be successful with or without me.
I see.
So they're going to do it with me to get there faster.
Yeah.
They have very high belief that it's going to, they can do it, right? The second thing is they have a bias for action.
Yeah.
Less thinking, more doing, right? So I was just talking to one of my founders today, who he tends to ask a lot of questions before taking action. So he's like, I want to make sure that this is correct and the form is correct and this is correct, this is correct. And I need you to take all of your curiosity and put it on the other side of action. So after you've acted, I need you to go, why did this work? Why didn't this work? What could we have tried, right? And so the people that are action-oriented, we launched with a new founder on last week. And in 3 days, he launched. First day on LinkedIn, 66 leads.
Damn, yeah. That's
You
crazy.
never launched before, 66 leads day one. If you close one lead at $5,000 or $10,000, I mean, you're already in the positive, right?
Yep.
So the difference though was he was building so fast. As soon as he had the information, within 6 days, he was ready.
Damn.
It's supposed to be 4 weeks,
Yeah.
So this kind of person, think about it, by the 4th week, he has failed more times than most people have tried.
Right.
So he has more iterations to take data off. he has more confidence because he's already done this, and this. And he probably also has a customer.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Because it took this long for you to think about it and this long. So he has failed more time than you tried. And that is already a superpower. So high accountability, high level of belief, like I am able to figure things out.
Yeah.
And then the second one is bias for action. I'm going to do it first, mess up, fail. And then I'm going to look at the data. So I always teach data or dollars. If you're launching anything, you're probably wrong. The only time you're right is if you have data, meaning 1,000 people, 200 people sign up for a wait list, or you get dollars. Someone says, I'm going to pay you. Once you have one of those two things, you can basically go in and build it, right? Because all you have to do is find more people like this or tell more people like this.
That's a good approach to think about it. Yeah, I never thought of it that way. Yeah. I'm learning myself as well. It's amazing. Like, it's like a free masterclass for me. So that's amazing. Talking about business now, I know you said your goal is to like still reinvent. Are you also thinking about like buying businesses or just like building things yourself in-house?
No, we're definitely, so now I'm starting to do more investing, right? Because I'm starting to see like, okay, the skill that I've learned on LinkedIn, you know, we worked with a travel founder. She was building an app and basically we used LinkedIn to do a launch. She had never posted on LinkedIn before.
Okay.
So we did use LinkedIn to do a launch. And within the first 6 weeks, she had 20,000 people on a wait list for an app that hadn't launched.
That's crazy.
She got picked up by Business Insider, Bloomberg, BBC, Global News. And then investors just started calling. And the app was literally, it was still a Google form at that time.
That is crazy. So it was, that's crazy.
Serious traction. Yeah. And that was, I think, when I was like, okay, this is worth more than 2,000 or 5,000. This is the difference between someone raising like 2 million or doing 2 million in revenue and doing 200K.
Yeah.
So now I'm starting to invest in what, you know, companies that are the future, meaning they're solving real problems in a very tangible way using AI. So I've always been passionate about careers.
Yep.
If you give someone a good career and some purpose, like you basically change their life, you know?
Right. Yeah.
And so any problems that are getting solved in that space, I'm very like keen on investing in.
Okay.
And then on the other side, what is it, like 2 or 3 trillion, if not more, of these boring businesses where, you know, the people are old, they're about to retire, laundromats. And so I had a 23-year-old who used to be one of my youth when I was a youth pastor, another life, you know, but she ended up going like, hey, I want to be an entrepreneur. I was like, okay, go study, like, you know, read these books and, you know, and she ended up working in valuations, right? Going into companies, looking at their books and evaluating the company. And basically she bought a pool company with no money down at 23. 23. She convinced the government to give her half the money, convinced the old seller to finance the other half and get paid out on profits, took over the company, and then took it to $1 million in a year.
23 in Canada.
In Canada, in Ottawa. So I brought her on board and basically went, I'm going to buy businesses with you because you understand, you know, how to structure these deals. They need to cash flow, but then we put some marketing on it and we put some AI into it to essentially help with, you know, automation and getting things to move a little faster. Yeah. But I think that's going to be the next big wave, right? And a lot of people are doing this now, right? So yeah, future and the past is basically what I've said to my team. We want to invest in the future, we want to invest in the past. And that's, you know, what we're focusing on.
That's crazy. I know you mentioned something some days ago about like a lot of your businesses have been co-founded with other people.
Yes.
I'm curious why, because I find that a lot of people, when I talk to them, they want like full equity, full ownership.
Of course, yeah.
What you're thinking there, aside from like spreading risk?
It depends on your capability. I have a lot of weaknesses. You know, I'm very good at inspiring vision. I'm very good at bringing the best out of people to get the best work.
Yeah.
I'm very bad with ops. I'm very bad with projects. I'm very bad with, you know, timelines and all this other stuff, right? So really, for me to unlock the most that I can unlock, I need 1 to 2 people behind me to be able to do that, right? And I used to think of it as a flaw, which is why all the businesses I started on my own failed.
Oh, okay.
All the businesses I started with people went on to do well, except the clothing line. But that was also because I made it more of my own, and I just hired my 7 best friends. that doesn't work.
With your friends.
Yeah.
Seven, not even one.
I know. Yeah, it
Seven.
was just like, yeah, it didn't really work.
Seven is a crowd.
I know. Like we're meeting on Saturday, everyone's just laughing.
How would
We
you
have
even
work to
split the
do.
profit?
We couldn't even split the profit. We couldn't make any money, So I think now I go, okay, if I'm launching a business, one, I don't know if you know anything about human design,
No.
but it's like your Enneagram, like personality
okay,
type.
yeah.
But it's way deeper. It's like 1 in a billion is your design. Okay.
Oh, interesting.
So my co-founder, when we first met, she did that for me. And that was when I realized, like, okay, I have saved the day energy. I am able to, I have such a massive bias for action, which means I don't catch details, right? If I'm going to try things 6 times, I'm going to miss a lot of details, but I'm going to try them, right? So I basically now will partner up with someone who is uniquely gifted in where I have a lot of a weakness, and I will do what I do best, and they do what they do best.
Right.
And, it's the whole Bible verse of like, one will drive 1,000, but 2 would drive 10,000. And so it's the same thing, like pairing up allows us to do more. So the year we did 7 figures in 1 year was only 2 of us.
And wow, so
Because, I was doing what I was doing and she was doing what she was doing. So we could move so fast and cover each other's weaknesses, right? So that's kind of how I think about it now. Like, I don't think I'll start any other business myself. I always go, okay, who's the operator, right? I'll be the visionary, but I need the operator.
No, that's a smart way to put it. I found a lot of people, as I mentioned, that are like, or rather own 100% of everything, but 100% of zero is zero.
But some people are so good that they can. Like I have one student, the guy works full time.
Full time?
He works full time in a job and has a business. His business does 50 to 60K a month. He has 2 kids, works full time. Do you understand what
That's crazy.
That
The
is not
numbers I'm
normal.
hearing is so crazy.
Yeah, like I can't do that.
Wow.
Like I know that I can't do that.
So know your strengths.
You know your strengths, you know your weaknesses. Like he can do that. He's what we call a manifesting generator, which means once he puts himself down and says like, this is what I'm doing, he can not just start it, he can sustain it. I start things. I'm a generator. So I can pick a new idea and within 7 days, it's up.
Okay.
Now, as soon as it's up, if there is no operator, it's probably going to die.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just understanding, okay, who are you? How do you function? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Can you cover those weaknesses before you go into it? And that's usually how I pick what I'm going to do.
No, that's good to know. Yeah. I think, do you know your Enneagram type? I know Shopify used to do that thing.
I am a 7.
7-0. I'm a 5 investigator.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That makes perfect sense because your questions are very good.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm a 7, which is like, I don't even know. It's the scatterbrained visionary, I think is what it's called.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's about as accurate as it can be.
I'm curious, what have you learned? Because you're saying numbers now that are crazy, in my opinion.
Of course, yes.
My circle, I don't have people around me that earn like 6 figures a month. So being surrounded by those people and you yourself earning 6 figures a month, what have you learned about building wealth from people like that? Just so I can tap into some knowledge or insights.
The first thing is you have to be around people like that to even think that you are like, when I heard 10,000 a month, I was like, sure. Like nobody makes 10,000 a month. And then I started talking to people making 10,000 a month and they were talking about people making 50,000. I'm like, my salary per month?
No, for real.
So I have now a very small circle of friends where, we just brought on someone to help us, but he's like, the last company that they launched, they now do 1.2 million a month.
Dude, I never...
What?
That's crazy.
Is the month a year? Like what?
Even a year
even
to me is insane.
1.2.
A year is insane.
What are we talking about, right? So you hear it for the first time, right? There's an old Bible verse I love. It goes, basically, believing comes from hearing and hearing and hearing, right? So you hear it the first time, it shocks your system. But then one of 2 things happens. It's either your deep self-conscious goes, I deserve that. Or it goes, I could never deserve that.
Yeah.
One of those 2 things happens in that instant.
Yeah.
If it goes, I deserve that, then your whole body starts to move towards it. If you immediately reject it, then you can just, let it go, right? That, I think, has been the big thing around being with people where the number is just, the way you talk about it, the way we talk about it now is like $15.
Yeah.
But when I first heard it, what are you
That's
talking
crazy.
about?
1.2 million a month.
In a month.
That's crazy. Even at your dinner, to me, it was still crazy hearing like 6 figures a month.
Yeah.
So this is like insane.
No, I'm now shocked by those people, right? They are looking at people doing 10 million a month. I'm going, how many months? Like, what are we talking about? You know? So I think surrounding, because you're one of my things, or one of the things my co-founder says is, you can only believe something if your subconscious believes it, right? So by getting around people and, you know, seeing it and hearing it and getting exposed to it, you start to place it into somewhere that you don't even have full control over, which is your subconscious. From that point on, it's a matter of time before you bring it into reality, right? The other thing, you know, is honestly, the world is moving so fast right now, you need information.
Yeah.
Like, some people don't know that certain things are possible.
Sure.
Because it's never been possible in the history of mankind. So it's not your fault that you don't know it. In 10 years, it will be your fault that you didn't learn it.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like, it's fine. Like, oh, you didn't know AI was...
AI,
sure,
that's a
right?
perfect example.
But 2035, you can't say, oh, well, I didn't know. Go get some information. YouTube is free. I've learned so much on TikTok.
Yeah.
I get, like, we started running ads. All of the ads I learned from TikTok, Instagram. I didn't go to any ads school. I watched 17 to 20 ads. Okay, here's the pattern. Okay, here's what we need to do. So now on all of our ads, we see like 8 to 12x return on ad spend. We spend $1 to get $12, $10, whatever it is. But I didn't go to school. The information is there, right?
Yeah. And that's kind of my goal for this podcast.
Yes.
Because I feel like sometimes we don't have access to people like that. And it's just like how to bring those people here to share and get everyone access to that information.
Yeah,
basically.
100%.
Yeah, because there are hundreds of people. We can't all have time with you, Tobi Oluwole. You have like 300 and something K followers. Definitely have a lot of DMs of people like asking. But that's like interesting. And also thinking about it with like abundance versus scarcity mindsets. I feel like when people hear that, there's some people that, as you mentioned, already believe that that's not possible. And that's like scarcity. Like,
I mean, it's because before wealth was created by creating scarcity for someone else.
Has it changed?
I think it has.
Okay.
I think now wealth is created by creating more abundance. So if you think about, you know, back in the day, let's say you wanted to be a gold or oil millionaire, you're going to go pillage a village and,
true.
you know, destroy the water and whatever else, right? But now, I mean, look how far we've come. People are getting wealthy by raising the ceiling instead of
that is true.
getting the most out of the floor.
That is
there is no top.
Yeah, there's the top, literally.
Right? Like, people that started making 500K a year as software engineers, we didn't know that you could make 500K a year, right? Yeah. So I think the best entrepreneurs now are playing the abundance game. Okay, this is, you know, a new floor that's been unlocked. How can I build a new floor on top of that? AI has been unlocked. How do we build a new, you know, floor on top of that? There is no ceiling. There, wherever people go, oh, it's saturated. There's competition. Competition is validation.
True.
You can just go in. True. You don't even have to do the research.
Yeah.
Just copy one of these guys, find what they're not doing, and now you know. So it's creating more. But that's why you're seeing Cursor in less than 2 years.
It's so crazy.
500 million ARR.
So crazy.
Has there ever been a time?
No, and I feel like it has disrupted the venture capital.
Of course.
Just like valuations. It's just crazy.
You can't. How do you even validate? So they raised 900 million in Series C. Series C is 100 million max.
Crazy.
You know, so they've raised the C. All of my software engineering friends are all like, I don't remember life before Cursor. You've improved the quality of life of some of the smartest people on earth.
Yeah.
That's why you see the valuation. So there is no ceiling, right? Same thing with Lovable. 60 million in 6-7 months. These are not, it's a new world, right? So I think that's the other thing is like, you have to embrace abundance right now. Nobody, it's not going to work. Someone's already doing it. Exactly.
Validation.
Someone's already doing it, you know?
Someone has validated
Someone has
concept
validated
for you.
it for you.
You don't have to like try to go through the whole process,
Nothing.
getting users. That's
you know?
true.
So I'm building a tool with a platform with some of my engineering friends in 2 to 3 days from when we said, let's build it to when I saw the prototype. 2 to 3 days, designed, prototypes, pages, logo, everything. I was like, how? They're like Versal, V0. I don't even know what that means, but how? So it's such a different world. Like this is the best time to just go for it.
There's so many like softwares out there now. If you can speak English, you can basically build a website. The barrier to entry is like really low now.
So low. So low.
It's so crazy. So take advantage of it.
Definitely. This is the best time. Yeah. If you've hated entrepreneurship your whole life, or you've been failing, this is the time to just say, let me just try. You might surprise yourself.
Speaking on that, since we're talking about like scarcity, let's just talk about naysayers. What's something you feel like you had to do that people around you were like, that's not a smart move? It could even be experts, because I found in cases where people have maybe mentors that might have a different point of view that might actually be wrong advice for them.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, I have a couple sayings that I use as like guiding principles. One of them is I never build on the opinion of one. I don't care who the one is.
Okay.
Data or dollars.
Yeah.
That's my...
I'm going to frame that in my head.
Yeah. Like if you ask any of our founders, I don't care if your mom said it's not going to work. When ChatGPT launched, there's a first comment right under it that says, this isn't going to work. It's a guy that says, Sam, this isn't one of your best ideas. So most people are wrong, right? So we just follow the data or we follow the money. And so for me, when I was building 3 skills, I remember, so I'd help my brother, my sister, my girlfriend, now wife, transition jobs. Okay. And I did it all obviously for free. Then I helped their friends and some of my friends. And someone took me to lunch once and said, do you know I just paid $3,000 for what you do for free?
Damn.
I was like, what? So I went back to my office and I remember it clear as day. I go upstairs and I had 4 people around me, all in sales. And I went, would you pay for like resume help to, and one person was like, yes, of course. I don't even remember what my resume looks like. And the second lady was like, I would 100% pay for that because nobody helped me. I just figured it out. And she goes, Tobi, if you start building something, I want to be a part of it. She ended up becoming my co-founder. Oh. Then the third person was like, yeah, obviously, like this is something. And then I had one guy that said, the YMCA already does that. Like, this is never going to work. 3 to 1, bro.
Yeah.
Like I'm building it. And we built it, and our first day we made $5,000, and I was like, great. Damn. Let's keep it going. So people are most likely to be wrong, and a lot of people don't want you to try because they don't want to see you be better than them. They don't want to see you do better than them.
Because they know they're scared to try.
Yeah.
So they don't want to see you better than, they want you on the same
Exactly. But I think in life you get unlimited tries. That's one of the things that really, really like changed my life is at no point is someone going to come put their arm around your shoulder and say, hey, that's enough. You've tried enough. You have unlimited tries, right? So when people are scared for you to try, immediately scarcity mindset. Unlimited plays. Unlimited. So I'm going to play for as long as the game is running.
Quick pause before we jump back into the episode. This podcast is about building wealth on your terms, and for a lot of people, that includes real estate. So if you're interested in real estate and want to connect, check the link in the description box or show notes. If you find this podcast valuable and you're watching on YouTube, please hit the like button and subscribe button. And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please give us a follow and leave a 5-star review for us. That's interesting. Now, just speaking about your type of business, it's more like a lifestyle business. How did you build this, and how's it different from like a regular founder? I find a lot of people that say, I want to be entrepreneurs, and they end up building a business that they hate. But it seems like you love your business. You've built it around your lifestyle.
Yeah.
What was the difference, or how did you get to this?
I think, again, core kind of pillar is why would I leave a job I hate to build a business I hate? So the reverse engineering of, okay, before I pick a business, let me design a lifestyle. And so I call them my terms and conditions. These are the terms I want to live my life on.
Yeah.
I don't want to use an alarm.
Interesting.
I want to work 3 days a week because I want more weekends than weekdays. I want to be able to spend as much time with anyone that I want. I want to be able to travel 12 times a year. I want to be able to not have one date night per week with my wife. I want to be able to date my wife whenever I want in the week. And we basically went like, okay, these are the terms. Okay. What conditions do I have to create to make those terms real? And so we picked the constraint, then we picked the business. So I have a lifestyle business because I designed my lifestyle before I built the business.
Oh, interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
And so when my business starts to get out of whack, right, I always pause, reset, go, this is what I actually want. And we just rebuild it again, right? So the trap is building a business that's a prison, right? Now you're too deep in.
Yes.
You know, you have too many employees, too many I never raised investor funding.
When you have investors, I feel like
Yeah, I was approached like 2-3 times. I'm like, why would I work for you? They're like, no, you'll be your own boss.
No.
Yeah, okay. Bro, I owe you $2 million. You want to collect 20 million and I work for me. It's like, I actually told one this year, I was like, here's the problem. I want to sleep whenever I want. I take summers off every year.
Damn, how, like the full.
July, August.
And you said you work 3 times.
Work
like
3 days a
3
week.
days a week. Damn.
So it's like, my whole team works 3 days a week.
Interesting.
Yeah, because if I hire the best people,
Yeah.
right? If you're the best at what you do, it should take you less time,
True.
right? So if you're working 3 days a week, you should be able to do as much, if not more. So my co-founder works 3 days a week, and is the most productive person I know. So we work 3 days a week. That was the first constraint. Then I take summers off.
Wow.
I don't you call me in the summer, just know, I'm not there, right? So because you have these constraints, there's some things you can't do,
Sure.
right? Like I can't take venture capital.
No, you can't.
You're going to call me and I'm not picking up. Now you're suing me, so there's something I told an investor, I was like, listen, the difference is, or the problem is, I want to take summer off and you're a shark.
Yeah.
It
can't
can
happen.
never work.
Never. No matter what they say, it can never.
Cannot work. Oh, you'll be in charge. He's like, we'll take 30%, you take 70%. You've already entered my profit margin.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you really have to decide, okay, this is really, really what I want. If you write your own eulogy, you'll very quickly realize what you care about.
I think that's what I need in this season of my life. And I'm learning from you that it's really important to be crystal clear on what you want.
Yes.
And then you can find different ways to get there. I feel like sometimes people explore different ways without figuring out what they actually want, their end goal. And that's why people get into that trap. They're like, oh, I don't want to work 9 to 5 because I want to be my own boss. I want to do have my time, all of that. And most people, I would say most people, end up being stuck in their business.
Well, if they say, go big or go home. So I have a saying in all of our, communities, which is, go big or go home is how you end up at home. That's how you're going to give up. Just start small,
Sure.
move quick, right? It's like, there's no reason to go big or go home, right? And I think if you really think through, okay, what do I actually want? Right? Because a lot of us are trying to build someone else's version of success.
Yes.
So what do I actually want? Right? I don't personally, as long as my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, and my wife love me, I don't need to be on Forbes 30 under 30, 40 under 80.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If it happens, whatever. Right? But I've chosen okay, these are the things I care about. There's no negotiation on these things. So how do we build with that in mind at all times? That is now when you're able to. So there's an old Bible verse, right? The Lord gives you wealth without sorrow. And a lot of the people that I've seen get wealth have gotten sorrow with it.
Yeah.
So essentially, if you go and you take more time and you're more clear around, okay, here's what I want, then you're able to get to where you're trying to go without sorrow. As soon as I read that verse, I went, oh, so wealth without sorrow exists.
Yes.
Right?
That is a good takeaway from me. No, I'm being serious. I always felt like it didn't exist. So now thinking and realizing that it's possible, like it's in the Bible. This is what God,
it must exist,
yeah,
right? Because everyone I met before, divorce, hospital, right? And then I started to go, wait, but wealth without sorrow exists. People are happy doing 10 million and spending time with their kids and healthy. No family trauma. So that means it exists, right? So now it's okay. And it takes longer. Because it's not it's not the conventional way. Success is supposed to cost you everything. But when you go a little more patient, I give myself 10-year time frames. 10 years, there's no rush.
Time flies, really.
Yeah.
Time flies.
So
would you say you've achieved the level of freedom you were planning to get to? Or is there still more?
No, I was free when October 2022, I was free.
That was when...
Yeah, I hit 20K a month.
Oh.
I was working. I was barely working. I've been free for a long time.
Well.
Yeah. I like, anytime I get like a crazy offer where they're trying to like, don't you want, one day I was like, Tobi, what do you want? Like 3-4 years from now, what do you want? I was like, I have my dream life. Nobody can entice me with, do you want more? I wake up when I want. I spend time with who I want. I travel when I want. I do what I want. I take care of my family. Everything that's driving me now is just the desire to create more for others. I'm so, I remember I got a $10,000 brand deal and I was in Spain. That was when I was like, okay, I'm free. Because I've decoupled time for money.
Yeah.
Which is as soon as you decouple time for money, now you can start to go towards real freedom.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
So I remember where I was. I went, I said to my wife, I'm like, we're going to quit next year. All right. And so I came back from that. I called my boss and I quit 8 months early. I was like, I'm going to leave in June.
Oh.
Because I was so sure.
Yeah.
And so from that moment, that level of that feeling of freedom existed. Now I'm just like uber free. Like, it's like there are levels to the freedom, right? But it's like if you can land in Canada and then you're at the airport. At that point, you're free. You know, and then you go into the city, and then you go to Canada's Wonderland. Like, but the freedom just like continues to increase. So now I can, like, we bought my mom a car, and I surprised her with it. Nice. Like, we can travel, we can buy someone a ticket. Like, it's just more free.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, it's been a while, and I love it.
That's amazing. How old are you?
I'm 30 now.
You hardly meet like people that age that are free. I know a lot of people nowadays are like, fire movements. People are trying to save up until they're 50 to then be free.
Yes.
Or 55 to then be free.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy to see someone age 30 that's already free.
I mean, honestly, if you give yourself like 5 to 10 years, if you pick the right kind of like North Star.
Okay.
My North Star was time. It was not money.
Interesting.
Yeah, my North Star was time.
Wealth?
Well, if I put you in Alaska in the middle of the wilderness with snow and I give you $1 million, are you wealthy?
No.
Yeah, you can't do anything with it. Yeah. So my North Star was time. At the point where I didn't have to be anywhere except for where I wanted to be, I was essentially free and wealthy. Now, people go, you have a mortgage, you still... I can pay my mortgage with my eyes closed. So it's not stressful.
Yeah.
Right. So that is the level of freedom I always wanted, was to have the time to say, Dad, I'm going to take you to go watch Arsenal and I'm going to come and we're going to go on the plane and I'll be with you the whole time. We'll take a week.
Wow.
That level of time freedom was always my North Star. So that's why I was free. I wasn't making a lot of money when I was free.
Interesting.
Like, I wasn't doing like millions. I was making like maybe north of 200K in my own business, and I was completely free. So freedom is internal, right? I didn't define my success looking at anyone else's cars or houses, or this person's house is bigger, and then you're trapped.
Yes.
Because comparison in itself is a prison.
Yeah.
It's like, I just want what I want. I don't even, once I hit 30, I stopped explaining why I want things. Someone's like, "Oh, why do you want to move to France?" I was like, "Why not?" Just there's no there's no explanation. Wanting is the highest form of freedom. I don't need.
You don't need it.
As soon as you sent me, I don't know if you know. As soon as you sent me the message to come do this, I was like, yeah. I just wanted to,
I was like,
So there was no like. My wife's like, "Why are we going back to Toronto?" I was like, "I wanted to do this."
You
podcast.
came here for
I came for this, and then another friend was like, "Do you want to do a dinner with some founders?" I was like, "Yeah." So now I'm in full want mode, right? If I want to fly business, I'm going to fly business. Well, it's more expensive. No, I got points so that I could fly business. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like this is the term. We don't compromise on the terms that we set.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
We just have to find the conditions. What conditions? So I have 3 Amexes. Why? Because if my mom wants to take a trip, I just move points, spend $100, she's somewhere else.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spend $4,000 or $5,000 because I want to take care of mom to take, No, we're going to find a condition that allows the term to be true.
This is so actionable for me. A lot of times I listen to podcasts and things are just not actionable. So I'm so grateful that this is like, I have homework to do. This is like me learning as well. Aside from like the audience, it's also me learning. So that's amazing. So if there's someone in the audience that feels like they're stuck, maybe they are working a job and they know that this is not the life they want, but they just can't quit, what would your advice to them be?
Yeah, don't quit.
Yeah.
One is like, just truly, you either do a 5-year manifesto, which starts with I am. So my 5-year manifesto starts with I am waking up to my beautiful view of the water. This house is one of my favorites. So you transport yourself into the future and decide, okay, what do you actually want? Then you come back to the present and you go, what do I have to do to just take one step closer to what I want? Timelines are why people fail. I need to make $1 million in a year.
Yeah.
Why?
I need to get over timelines.
Yeah, it's like, why do you need to make $1 million a year? So that you're comparing yourself to something or someone.
Yes,
right? Nobody needs to make $1 million a year. Do you want to make $1 million a year? Okay, I want to make $1 million a year. Okay, if you want to make $1 million a year, what plan will make it possible for you to make $1 million? And your brain immediately switches from scarcity, I don't have enough time, to abundance.
Yeah.
I can create new ideas. Just by going, you don't need to do it. You want to do it.
Yeah.
Right? But timelines kill a lot of deals and kill a lot of dreams. Just pick what you want 30, 40, 50, 5, 10 years from now. Okay, I'm working in a job I can't quit. Okay, so what does that mean? Maybe you're making $6K and you start, instead of doing, more Uber Eats and doing 3 vacations, you do 1 vacation and you start putting 30, 40% of your paycheck into the S&P 500. So that by the time in 5, 6 years you want to quit, you have a big enough. I have a guy that's quitting his job soon. He's panicking. Because he's doing well in his business, but he's like, I have this safety net.
The job. Yeah.
He has $500,000 saved up in cash. And
so it's just a mindset thing then.
He's still panicking.
Point. Yeah.
So
that's even cash. Then he still has his business that he's doing.
He has his business. He has a house, and he is still panicking.
Damn.
So you just have to decide. Okay, this is what I want.
Yeah.
This is what. If I get to this point, then I will be able to make the jump. Okay, I made the jump in the safest way possible. My business was doing $300,000-$400K a year, and I still did not quit.
Really?
I refused.
Wow.
How can I pay for my own self? Where am I going to get benefits from? I was terrified. The Trudeau is looking to me to pay tax. They just take the tax out of. So I was terrified. So what did I do? I went, okay, I'm going to wait till the business is doing double my income.
Okay. Yeah.
It has to do that consistently for 6 months. I have to have a house that's going to appreciate. I have to have savings that will carry me for 3 months.
Yeah.
Then I'll quit.
Wow.
So when I quit,
it was very safe.
Yeah, I was like, it's even safer on this side because layoffs were starting.
Yes.
So I was like, I have a business doing this much. I have a house, so I have equity.
Yeah.
If anything, I go to the bank, yo,
Just refinance,
borrow me
yeah.
50K. Let me, you know. So I did it in the safest way possible because as action oriented as I am, I'm risk averse.
That's shocking.
Yeah.
I'll say like
But failure isn't
shocking.
risk. I think that's people go, failure is risk. Failure isn't risk. Staying stuck where you are under potential is risk. To me, it's like getting to the end of your life and going, I should have and I could have.
Yeah.
That is risky. So failure isn't risk. The things that I consider risk are taking on something like VC money when I can see all of the stories that it has caused.
Yeah.
That's risk, right? So you can't actually fail if you just keep going. It's impossible. Like if you just keep going, you're not going to fail in the long term because everything you lose on the way is just tuition.
True.
You're just paying the price.
Sure.
You can't just go to university, get the degree. No, everybody must pay, right? So as soon as you reframe failure and then you reframe risk to me is not trying and it not working. Risk to me is going down a path that I know can lead to a life that I absolutely hate. That is way more risky.
Like, yeah.
You know? So it's like reframe those things. Okay, here's the path I want. This is what I want in the future. This is what I need to do right now to create that. And then just a step at a time. Give yourself 5-10 years. Because even if it took you 10 years, if you're 30, took you till 40 to buy back your freedom, you would still have 40 years.
Yeah, true.
You know, it's like you still have, you're at 50, you do it by 60, you still have, you have so much time, right? So I was 28 when I retired from corporate.
Crazy.
And I remember I went to Cabana Pool Bar, give me some champagne. They came with, happy retirement.
Oh, happy retirement.
Yeah, because I was like, people like, but you're still working. I'm like, on what I love.
Yeah.
What do you do after you retire?
True.
Oh, we're going to travel now.
Travel, yeah. You're traveling. You're doing yeah.
So it's like, again, my definition of retirement, not anybody else's definition. That was it.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think as soon as you define your own success, this is what I truly want, not anybody else's success, not the cars or the houses or the Forbes. Just ask yourself, what do you actually want? And then just start working towards that.
No, thank you so much, Tobi, for being here. Just to wrap up, are there things that you have in common, pipeline, or things you want to just highlight? And how can people reach you?
Yeah, I'm going to be doing a summit in Toronto. I'm very excited.
I've signed up for that. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm very excited for it because just like you said, right? Like when you're exposed to people in the same room, you just start dreaming a different type of dream.
Yes.
Right. And I feel like that has been almost like a secret weapon that I've had is that I've been I do a mastermind twice a year with, 5 people. And every time we come back, people's businesses are like close to double. Wow. Because for 4 days, you're just going through the lows, the highs, the rebuild, right? And it's so powerful to be in the same room. And so that's why I want to do the summit, September 6th in Toronto, the Recreate Summit.
Okay, I'll put the link.
Yes, that is my number one
everything
thing. I want people to be in the room and experience, like, okay, what does it look like? Basically, how we came up with the name was, if you wanted to recreate your life, you could do it as many times as you want. Your most powerful gift is, your most godlike gift is that you can create. Right? Like, so it's like, God said, let there be light. Like you have the same power to just go, you know what? Let there be freedom or let there be a business and speak it into existence and start working towards it, right? So that was where the recreate come from. You can recreate your life as much as you want. But if you take the hyphen out, now it becomes recreate and you can build a life that feels like play.
Recreation, yeah.
That's smart, that's basically how we came up. So I want to help people build a life that feels like play and then give them the tools they need to do it as many times. Like just recreate your life over and over again.
I'm looking forward to it, just like the little taste I had, because that was my first time being exposed to that type of people, type of group. Because I've always been with career people, and now that I'm like trying to head in a different direction. I'm
Yeah.
like,
You
let
left
me
your job
actually.
not too long ago.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
left my job. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, so I'm just looking forward to that and how it's going to like expand my mindset. So I'll leave that in the description box. If they haven't seen your post on LinkedIn yet, or they haven't seen your page, how can they connect with you?
Yeah, so it's just Tobi Oluwole on LinkedIn. I think it's linkedin.com/the Tobi Oluwole.
Okay, I would also leave that in the show notes. But it was amazing having you, Tobi.
Thank you for having
and
me.
thank you for saying yes. Sometimes you just need one yes to just start things.
That's true.
And this was like an amazing conversation, even for myself. I have homework to do. And I hope people watching are going to actually do the homework, because a lot of times people read like self-help books or listen to podcasts about building wealth and all of that, but they just don't take action.
Yes.
Like, it's not just about listening, it's about like taking action.
You have to take action, but just tiny steps.
Baby steps.
Stay within your comfort zone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So if you aren't subscribed, subscribe to this channel, like this video. And if you really enjoyed it, give me a 5-star rating on whatever platform you're watching on. And I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching.